let's look at the last part of this section where they've given us a picture on the calculator display, and given that, they want us to determine a solution to an equation and then use that to solve the polynomial equation. So we have to be able to interpret this graph of that polynomial. On your graph, the part that represents a solution to that equation is where it crosses the x-axis. The x-intercepts are equal to our solutions. So we need to be able to go to our calculator, look at that picture, find the x-intercepts from the picture, and that's interpreted as one of the solutions. Now this one's going to actually have 3 because the degree is 3. One of them occurs right there, and if we watch our tick marks in our scales, this tick mark is at -4, this starts at 0, so this has got to be -3. From the calculator, we gather that x equal -3 is one solution. Well, there are 2 others that are left, so we'll do what we did earlier, which is verify that -3 is a solution. So let's go ahead and do synthetic division. We should expect to get a remainder of 0. That's a -6. That's a -5. That's a 15. That is a 2. And that is a -6. And yep, we should have expected a remainder of 0 because we divided by an x-intercept, which is a 0, which is a solution. Solutions will always give us remainders of zeros. Now we're left to the same game. We have a quadratic, which is a 2x squared minus 5x plus 2. Let's work on factoring that one. I believe this one is set up where it's going to factor. 2x, 2, 1, x, and 1. And let's see what we get. That's a 4. So if I make them both negative, I'll get a -5 multiplies to a +2. So if we set those guys to 0, we get one of them to be a half, one of them to be 2, and then the original one that we got over here comes down as another solution, x equal -3. So that's a total of 3 solutions. We knew we were going to find 3 because the degree was 3. Now let's go to our calculator and validate that those are actually some solutions. So typing in that equation, 2x cubed plus x squared minus 13x plus 6. And make sure that I've got it in there correctly. Yep. Get the graph feature. Hit the second graph to get the table feature, and look at your table. One answer is at -3, one answer is at 2, and the third one, since it's a half, if we go to the graph and trace, you can type in 1 divided by 2, press enter, and it'll show you, yep, that one is a 0. So you can look -3, 1/2, and 2. So that validates our work that we did algebraically. And this one we're going to work off of the table. They say, okay, here's a polynomial function. We put it in the calculator, and we went to the table feature. And based on this table feature, can you pick out a solution? We were able to pick out a solution from the graph. Can we pick one out from the table? And we should be able to. The one that has a 0 in the y position. X equal 1 is a solution. That's what we're looking for. So from the table we can grab a solution and we can start our synthetic division to get it down to a quadratic to find the last 2 solutions. So let's divide by 1. No sign change thing here. Write out coefficients, no missing terms. just start the procedure. And we do get a remainder of 0, which means we're left with our quadratic because there's only 2 left to find. This was a cube. When you divide, it drops down to a square. So 2x squared plus 13x plus 6. I believe this one is also set up to factor. 2x and x, a 6 and a 1, and if I make them both positive, that'll get me 13. So I get a negative 1/2, a negative 6, and then the 1 I got from the calculator here, x equal 1. The degree is 3, 3 solutions, and we could check that on our calculator, see if those are indeed the other solutions, the negative 1/2 and the negative 6. So we need to type that in. 2x cubed plus 11x squared x cubed plus 11x squared minus 7x minus 6. I'll graph it, and I'll go to the table feature and just see if it picks up those values that we've indicated when we did the algebra. There's our table. There's the value of 1 that we got initially. Gee, let me go the other way. Hope I didn't type it in wrong. Ah, there it is. There's the other one, a negative 6. Knew it had to be there somewhere. And if we wanted to check out the 1/2, if we go to the graph and just type in go to the graph, hit trace, and then type in 1 divided by 2, press enter. Oh my goodness. Oh, I bet it was a negative 1/2. Oops. If we plug in a negative, or type in a negative 1/2, surely that should be 0. There it is. So we're just validating, yep, those are the 3 zeros that we found over here algebraically. See the homework exercises there. Technology, critical thinking. Do the ones in Course Compass, but always look at your book and hit these guys because you don't see many of these type in the Course Compass.